Hi Year 6 and welcome to Thursday's reading lesson. So we're going to carry on thinking about powerful women and women in authority today. The last couple of days you have focused on Kamala Harris, the first female vice president of the USA, and today we are going to look at another very famous woman in power. So here is a picture of her, and I am sure that you are all aware that that is our Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. So we are going to focus on her today. She has been the Queen of the UK since 1952, and that makes her the longest serving British monarch. So she has been Queen longer than anybody else has been king or queen before, okay? That word monarch just means king or queen. So she is the longest serving and she is still going strong, and nobody has ever been in charge longer than her. So that is why she is really, really important. Now, some quick facts. Did you know that Queen Elizabeth II wasn't originally meant to be queen? So she originally, her father was never meant to be king. It was actually his brother who was due to be king, but his brother decided that he didn't want to be king, and so it went to Elizabeth's dad, and then after Elizabeth's dad had been king, she was able to become queen afterwards. Did you know that she has 4 different homes? You can find out about that in the text that you're going to read today. And she has seen 13 prime ministers, which is a record because she's been queen so long, so many different prime ministers have passed through. So, your job for today, you need to go and find the text, which is all about Queen Elizabeth II, and you need to find the blank fact file. You are going to use the text to fill in the fact file with all of the information about Queen Elizabeth. Before you go off and be independent, I wanted to do a quick vocabulary check. There's quite a few words in there which are kind of, maybe some are old-fashioned or some are really specific technical language to the Queen and the monarchy, and we might not be sure what they mean. If you think you can define any of the words on the screen, pause me and have a go, and I will explain the definitions in a minute before you get started. Okay, let's reveal these definitions then. You might want to note them down. Oh, let's just pull that one up because it's behind my head. So, let's start at the beginning. Governess. So it's a bit of an old-fashioned word. We don't really have governesses now, but it's like a live-in nanny, a live-in home teacher. So somebody who would look after the children and teach them from home. The word crowned. So it's got the word crown in it. It literally means put the crown on. So become king or queen. So if somebody is crowned, that's the moment they became king or queen. It's got the word adopted in the text. Now we might know the word adopted in terms of adopting children, but this is about adopting a name. So it says that when Elizabeth's father became king, he adopted his father's name. So it just means he took on. So he changed his name for his father's name. It talks about telegrams, and that's an old-fashioned type of message that would come across the telegraph and then be printed out, so you'd receive this little message that had been sent. Ascended. So ascended, the word ascended means going up. We've looked at the word ascended when we were ordering decimals, I think, and we were ordering things in ascending order, and that meant smallest to largest, going up. In this case, it says ascended the throne. It means, again, took on the throne, became king or queen. The word coronation is the ceremony to crown the new king or queen. This word here, it said reign. If you've never seen it before, it said reign, but obviously spelt differently to reign, and it means how long you've ruled as king or queen. So if it says during her reign, that means during her time as king. If somebody has reigned for 50 years, it means they've been king or queen, they've ruled for 50 years. And then that word monarch I have already talked about. That means king or queen. Okay, so you should be all set now to go off and be independent. This is what you need to do. First of all, that's spelled appropriate wrong. Sorry about that. So your jobs, number 1, find and read the text. I would read and annotate. If you've noted down some of those definitions from the previous slide, that will really help. Then open up the blank fact file. You don't need to print it. You can just write the words into your own book. And you need to get the information from the text. Some things you might know if you've got a bit of knowledge about the Queen, but I think for most of them, you're going to have to find them in the text. And then try the challenge. So I have left the non-fiction text without subheadings today, and I've given you the challenge of making up some appropriate ones. I believe the Kamala Harris text had some subheadings, so that might help you if you wanted to go back to that. Thank you for joining the lesson, and I'd love to see how you get on with your independent task.